Plant FAQs. Portulacaria Afra Minima, Lilliput. What is Portulacaria Afra Minima? Portulacaria Afra Minima, sometimes referred to as dwarf elephant bush, is a compact succulent variety of Portulacaria afra. Unlike its larger relatives, this miniature version is perfect for small spaces, containers, and bonsai. The plant features small, round, fleshy leaves that grow on reddish-brown stems. One variety that has particularly caught my attention is Portulacaria Afra Minima Lilliput, a smaller and more compact form with tighter growth, ideal for those who love succulents with a petite aesthetic. How do you care for Portulacaria Afra Minima? Caring for Portulacaria Afra Minima is relatively easy, making it a great option for anyone who enjoys low-maintenance plants. Here are the essential aspects of care. Light. This plant thrives in bright, indirect light. If you want it to grow more compact and dense, place it in a spot that gets full sunlight for at least 4 to 6 hours daily. However, it can adapt to lower light conditions, though growth will be slower. Watering. Like most succulents, Portulacaria Afra Minima doesn't need frequent watering. I usually water mine only when the soil is completely dry. Overwatering can lead to root rot, so it's better to underwater than overdo it. A good rule of thumb is to water it every 10 to 14 days during the growing season and reduce it to once a month during winter. Soil. Well-draining soil is crucial for this plant. I personally prefer a cactus or succulent mix, which prevents the soil from retaining too much moisture. Adding perlite or sand to regular potting soil can also work well. Temperature. This succulent loves warmth and can tolerate high temperatures, but doesn't do well in frost. If you're growing it outdoors in a colder climate, it's best to bring it indoors when temperatures drop below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees Celsius. Fertilizer. I occasionally feed my Portulacaria Afra Minima with a diluted succulent fertilizer during the growing season, spring and summer. However, I skip feeding during the fall and winter when the plant naturally slows down its growth. How do you propagate Portulacaria Afra Minima? One of the things I love about Portulacaria Afra Minima is how easy it is to propagate. You can quickly expand your collection or share it with friends by following these steps. Cutting. Take a healthy stem cutting with a few leaves. I usually let the cutting dry for a day or two to allow the cut end to callus over. This step helps prevent rot once planted. Planting. After the cutting has dried, plant it in well-draining soil. I've found that placing it in indirect light and lightly watering helps encourage rooting. Within a few weeks, you'll notice new growth as the cutting takes root. Patience. Propagation can take time, so be patient. Once rooted, you can care for the new plant as you would the parent. What is variegated Portulacaria Afra Minima? One variety I've particularly enjoyed growing is variegated Portulacaria Afra Minima. This cultivar has beautiful leaves edged with cream or white, adding a striking visual contrast to the typical green foliage. The variegation makes it even more appealing as a standalone plant or in mixed succulent arrangements. It requires the same care as the regular green variety but benefits from a little more light to maintain its vibrant colors. What can you plant with Portulacaria Afra Minima? Pairing Portulacaria Afra Minima with other succulents or drought-tolerant plants creates visually stunning arrangements. I've had success planting it alongside sedum. The low-growing sedums complement the upright growth of Portulacaria Afra Minima. Echeveria. The rosettes of Echeveria create an attractive contrast with the more linear growth of the Portulacaria. Aloe vera. Their spiky form and larger size can add variety to your succulent garden. Common problems and solutions. While Portulacaria Afra Minima is generally easy to care for, a few common issues can arise. Overwatering. As mentioned, too much water can cause root rot. Always ensure the soil dries out between waterings. Pests. Though rare, pests like mealybugs can sometimes affect the plant. I've had success treating infestations by wiping the affected areas with a cotton swab dipped in rubbing alcohol. Leggy growth. If your plant becomes leggy or sparse, it might not be getting enough light. Moving it to a sunnier spot should help encourage denser growth. Final thoughts. Growing Portulacaria Afra Minima has been a rewarding experience. Its small size, ease of care, and charming appearance make it a must-have for any succulent enthusiast. Whether you're drawn to the classic green variety or the striking variegated Portulacaria Afra Minima, this plant is sure to bring joy to your indoor or outdoor garden. Its adaptability and forgiving nature make it perfect for those just starting with succulents or for those who want to add a touch of greenery without too much effort.